I would request everyone to, if possible, please switch on your cameras. Because for this edition of Smart Talk, we have kept everyone, they can, unmute yourself in between. So, hello everyone. My name is Gaurav Sawant, and I welcome everyone in today's webinar, How Gen Z is Changing Work Culture and How to Embrace It. So I'm delighted to introduce our speaker, Kanupriya Taneja. She is the Chief People Officer for India and APAC at Credera. She was recognized as an ET HR leader under 40 in 2023 and has held key leadership roles at organizations like Credera, then Canon, and Gartner. She's known for her expertise in talent strategy, change management, and building strong, high performing teams. She's also a certified coach who has guided many organizations through big transitions like mergers and expansions. So, what makes her truly special in her passion for helping people and organizations to unlock their full potential, which connects perfectly for today's topic on how Gen Z is reshaping the workplace. So, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Tanupriya Taneja. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. I know it's Friday and you are all joined us for a session. So we can hold a coffee. I know after 5:30, 6 p.m., you guys can hold whatever glasses you want to, but let's hold a coffee. Let's chat. I do know that, when I'm talking to the young generation, I'm hopeful, the people that who have joined us today, um, I will not go by PPT. I would want to keep it very conversational. Would share from my experiences what has worked for me in this space, and we'll would love to hear from you. Hear from you. You can ask questions, and I would love to answer them, and embrace this webinar as more conversational. But for the first 30 minutes, you have no choice but to hear me. So please do that. Okay. I do know that, it's a very phenomenal, significant topic that we are delving in, and that has its own rippling effect, if I may say so, across the society, and that's our Gen Zs. While much of the conversation around Gen Z has focused on their impact on the workforce, I truly believe it's crucial to understand their influence extends far beyond traditional employment setting, also in terms of, you know, cultural shift, impact various facets of life. I have currently, in my current role, 30% of my workforce are Gen Zs, and I see the energy that they exhibit all the time. So if I have Gen Zs in this room listening me out, I really appreciate and would love to have that energy in this when you're asking questions or when you are raising your hand for any input or topic. You can switch on your cameras for sure. Thanks so much, Gaurav. That really helps. So today we will unpack some key themes surrounding this transformative cultural elements of how organizations are reshaping, examining how they are reshaping industry expectations, rethinking social norms, driving very technological adoption so quickly, influencing consumer behavior also, which is exactly impacting our economy too. And, we'll kind of take deeper look at that all through when we are having our own discussion. So let's kick things off defining, first of all, who all are Gen Zs really. So roughly 1997, more beyond that, right? To 2012. This generation is coming of age in an era of defined by rapid technological advancement, shifting societal values. Okay. Uh, but if being tech savvy were all there was for them, I think we wouldn't spend an entire episode just discussing this. I would say it's a broader influence that they have, and I would love to really delve deeper there. First, foremost, how they are transforming the workplace. Um, and I'll take my own company current example, what I'm going through. I'm going through a change management exercise. I'm part of, my company is part of Omnicom Group, which has grown organically and organically both. So they acquire organization and then they integrate. And when we acquire organization team, there is a massive merger acquisition that happen and massive integration happens and calls for a lot of cultural shift. And when we do cultural shift and to the topic, how Gen Z is changing work culture, part of it is like when there is a change management, like it or not, change is inevitable that we all know. We always need Gen Zs to support us, who champion us, who really bring the change. Now, what do I mean by that, team? Is, there is an element of the value system that a company holds versus a value system you want people to adapt to, unlearn, learn, and then really bring that change. Personally, the Gen Zs that we have worked, we have experienced that when you explain or bring the desire, why are we changing? What is happening? What is our vision? There is an element of adoption. There is an element of bringing the change faster through this generation. And that doesn't mean millennials don't support. That doesn't mean Gen X doesn't support and Alpha is very far. But since the topic is more of Gen Zs, I really want to emphasize what energy they bring to the table and what they kind of bring in. And I'll take an example of how COVID changed, how the work-life balance changed, and how work-life balance, God knows when, became one work-life integration, right? And there was no more balance. It was like, let's integrate it. But how we were able to bring that job flexibility, and it's not merely a benefit, I would want to call it. It was more towards like how we were able to maintain that while maintaining the wellness. So even I think we were part of, I participated in the LinkedIn survey when it happened, and we were thinking of how we integrate three generations with this massive change of COVID and post-COVID, bringing people back. And the participation that we got from Gen Zs and the responses that we got, workers expressed a desire for flexible working condition post-pandemic. What does it mean for employers? Companies need to adopt quickly. There wouldn't be any 9 to 5, as simple as that. Moreover, they need to advocate for inclusion and diversity actively. So now feel free. There is no pressure. We had to really integrate that. So the entire RTO, when we designed, and today what we are operating, it's hearing all the generation and how our Gen Zs as, generation, 100% participation in voicing out what do they want and how do they see the work culture to be. And what I'm trying to achieve from this and trying to share with everybody out here, the workplace today, which is hybrid, the workplace today, which is no 9 to 5, where are you kind of a question, workplace today, which is inclusive, is because of Gen Zs. And I really want to give all of you a pat on the back for that, because whosoever is doing there, who has voiced out, because there is a generational gap. There is a traditional ways of operating with millennials. They may not, some people to voice out, and that's their personality, but Gen Zs were out loud. And that shift is because of this generation that we have today hybrid, we have flexible setting. And as an organization leader, we understood it pretty early. And that helped us in defining our organization value and helped us in defining our inclusivity element in the organization, that you can't tell people to literally log in at 6 in the morning or 9 in the morning. You give them 6 hours, give them a work, and they will finish it out. You can tell them to come at 3 hours a day, 3 days a week for 6 hours a day, kind of a setting, but you can't sit on their head and monitor. So if that's the requirement, how are you shifting your culture? I think we learned that early 2022, 2021, when the Great Resignation came, and then we had the entire RTO mechanism because COVID was settling down and we really wanted people to come back, learn, collaborate. And these inputs coming from the surveys, talking more with colleges also, like what do they want if they really want to come back to work, that really helped us. So part of it is like, how are we integrating the three generations. Alpha is yet to come, but three generation. That I think that's where I think speaking more, talking more really helped. Uh, the other piece I really want to jump in is the intriguing aspect here is the psychological safety, the concept popularized by one of the Harvard Business Review professor by Amy, where individuals feel free to express themselves without fear of negative consequences. And there is something which is quite trending these days. I'm not on TikTok, but the Gen Zs are really on it. It's called aura farming. And it's such an amazing thing how we see, the young boy in Indonesia, 11-year-old Indonesian boy, dubbed the ultimate aura farmer by the internet, and how people are really making reels. I just learned a few days back, but a mix of confidence, calm, charisma, visual presence that makes someone appear effortlessly cool. I think that's something which is phenomenal. And that, as I think of it, because it's something very new and something that, on the round table, we were discussing with our leadership team. We really need to feel, even millennials need to, and Gen Zs need to. We don't have that. We are so much under stress. And that's the kind of cultural values we need to embrace in our organization, where you don't have to take everything to the heart, or you don't have to take everything so seriously. Be cool while you accomplish your task. So I think that's the combination that we are kind of aiming towards. And this is where I think we're leading in. So to the question, to the webinar that we are today for how Gen Zs are changing work culture. This is how they're changing the culture by being cool about things, by not taking things seriously, which is also part and parcel of how I think the organization are working towards, with a lot of digital transformation coming at a very fast pace. So I really want to talk in next 2-3 segments, work, how workforce or workplace are transforming big time. That's part one. The other element, how we can connect with three generations. I'm not specifically going to talk about Gen Zs here, but three generations coming together in Alpha, just coming in also as part of our new generation added. And Gen Zs and Alpha are pretty much same, but yes, there are parts of it which are overlapping. And third is purpose to protest, how we can be more purpose driven and how we can bring in that. So these are three elements I'll be talking about. Without PPT, again, chatting with my own examples. But if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat or raise your hand. Happy to, delve in and answer. So from a workforce transformation standpoint, there is a cultural shift. And the three things I'll talk about, and we realized pretty early that when we were dealing before, I think COVID or even 2010 or 2015, we knew leadership team were working in the room and they were discussing and something will come. Today, I can't do that. There is a demand to be transparent and inclusive. And that just doesn't mean being transparent for the heck of being transparent. It calls for a lot of detailing out. And that's what has shifted our ways of operating. And I myself have observed that how we used to do our town halls earlier versus how we do it now. You can't send a calendar invite, there is a town hall on this particular day and join us. We really need to set things up. Why are we doing town hall? What is the purpose of it? What is it we're trying to achieve with this? And why are we meeting you? And that brings in the inclusivity part. So there's a lot of transparency, embracing transparency has come in, the culture shift has come in. And that's a strategy that has worked for us. And I'm very happy to share it here. So they thrive in an environment where transparency reigns supreme, unlike many other generations, which is reluctant towards sharing sensitive information within the team. It's okay to share we're not doing well. It's okay to share that businesses are really shutting. And it is very much available that how AI is transforming. While that's not the topic, but definitely Gen Zs really want to know, what is AI doing? How can I contribute? What would happen to me tomorrow? What are the three things you think I should be start doing now so that I can be secure? And these are the conversations openly having, and people don't hesitate to talk to anybody. And that's also the structure that we have built. We are no more hierarchical. This is not we are sitting in a room and chatting. This is something where on the floor, like a startups speak, even if we are as large as that of 1,500 people. We truly believe in having an open conversation. Come chat. What can I do today? What can I do tomorrow? I know tomorrow is this new technology coming in, the new workflows that you're making under AI. So what can I do that? So I think there are many transparent, open conversation that we have started holding in. And sometimes we don't even call this town hall. We just go in, oh, let's chat. What do you want to chat about? Okay. So that's one big strategy change, or that's something that we have already built in and it's helping us. There is a creating a meaningful work experience. And I truly believe in that because as I was giving example of merger and acquisition, there were two agencies that we were bringing together. And while a lot of work behind the scenes, we were still accomplishing, you can't change the policy process overnight. You can't change the workflows overnight. You can't change the structure overnight. But there's something that really wanted to start with is let's all of us call ourselves one Credera. Let's start celebrating people as one Credera. And what I mean by that, is we didn't devise any strategy in one room. And that's where I think the whole sole driver of that cultural assimilation exercise was done by this generation for us. And some alphas too, I must say. Alphas were also, like interns and not, of course, born, but yes, there were some juniors that we invited. And so what I'm trying to share here is, Gen Zs were so supportive. They are the one who really brought this entire change for us. Today, even if one of our entities was not folded in, they started calling themselves Credera. That helped us. That literally helped us. And we have our own cultural committee led by the generation that I'm talking about. They decide, they have a budget, they manage the complete intervention of bringing people together. And there are times where they talk more about, okay, what's happening? I'm not clear about my career path because, two entities having different levels. And they say, okay, oh, I do not know what level I would be. But they talk, which is something really helping us in our own change management transformation project altogether. So there is there's something that has helped, like I was saying, is creating a meaningful work experience has definitely helped us. And hosting hackathons, right? Where you bring an idea. Now with AI, we have a strong technology team. We have like Pega, Salesforce, Adobe. There are so much happening within their own streams of strong technologies that we have. Now bring up the idea what can be done internally that we can bring our own workflows and with a desire not to eliminate a job, but to desire to really bring in the productivity. And what amazing ideas that we got on the table and how we were able to, work closely with this set of team. So yes, so that's something which has really helped us in transforming our workforce or our workplace, keeping Gen Zs in mind. The third is because we are part of also a bigger group, Omnicom. So we have a strong ERG, employee resource group, where it's an open forum. Everybody who is listening, and I actually can see Gaurav only on camera, so I'll address Gaurav. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, Gaurav, is it's a inclusivity through these ERG group to bridge the cultural gap seamlessly whilst incorporating younger viewpoints. We considered launching this ERG only for India, focusing on various demographics representing throughout employee profiles, but for India. And these group encourage dialogue, opening doors, previously locked doors, introducing new perspective within feedback cycle, ensuring everyone feels heard, bringing forth inclusivity, focusing primarily on the collaboration and vastly improving decision making. And I'll take two examples here, dominant one that helped us. One is a CSR initiative. It's unclear in, which group we want to target. It's only women, or we decided on really doing a pride walk. We said, no, we want to be more inclusive. And that's where I think the Gen Zs were really marching and taking it up. Then there was this mentorship program. Earlier used to be run only for women. It's like, no, we also want. So why only for women's side? So that's where we kind of broaden this entire complete offering, I would call it, within the group, as the Gen Zs were demanding, and they were open, and we said, okay, we can't do it all in one go because it calls for some costing, but yes, let's start with a small group and then let's take it forward. So to the workforce or a workplace transformation, like I was telling you, be transparent, that has really helped us through a town hall, through open discussion, no hierarchy, and we have witnessed a change. The second is meaningful workplace, and classic example, like I mentioned, our annual day, how people come together, how we, without even folding in our brand sunset, we were already one Credera, and we were operating like a Credera as a company, as they were acquired companies, that we kind of wanting to harmonize it, and really helped us in transforming our bringing the change that we were looking at. And thirdly, the ERG groups, that, employee resource groups, and bringing inclusivity and hearing them out through a CSR. So these three big ticket items were very much there for us, and it really helped us. Um, I'll definitely get to the next topic. I know I'm talking for quite some time. Any questions that people have? Is there anything that people have it before I segue? I'll also give some breather to my throat, maybe.
Guys, if you have any questions, you can simply raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. If you are
Yeah.
not ready to speak, you can even put it in a chat box so that I can read it out and will respond. Yes, anyone?
Okay. Okay, so I don't see, but it's okay. I think we'll have more. I'll move to the purpose-driven things, from purpose to protest, which is something very, very, and I didn't witness it until, and I want to be very transparent, until 2022 or 23 early. I felt Gen Zs have been working with us, but then when I actually witnessed, and I felt like, oh my God, we were ignoring that generation big time, and it was really impacting our NPS score, our employee engagement score, and we realized that we were not. We were ignoring that segment, right? So, and this is where, because Gen Zs is not just participating in activism, they are fundamentally rewriting the rules. Forged in the era of digital connectivity, social upheaval, economic uncertainty. I think the approach is less about isolated protest, but more about weaving a sense of purpose into very fabric of their life. So, which I really, really appreciate. And this is creating a profound, fun, cultural shift, forcing institutions, brands, and like our organization, our older generation like us, to adapt or risk becoming irrelevant. And I really have an example here when some of our older practices that we were doing, closing our eyes, folded our eyes, just like that. And we realized how our people were so disengaged. We realized how the participation dipped drastically, even if we were trying to learn things out going virtually. Some of our policies were so redundant. And until 2023 early, or late 2022, we were just moving on because we were just adapting to COVID. We were just thinking, let's do this. But and when we saw our own, like, we did so much, we have so much, why the scores are going down? But then it was this element of technology. Why are you connecting when we have a technology? Why are we not bringing us? And that's again not inclusivity, it's just part of there is so much technology in it. Why are we not bringing? So we have Slack in other my friends, organization. Why are we not adopting that? And that was the reason of our employee engagement down. And we were like, okay, but we have the teams. No, but that's where the community talks, and we want to talk freely. So what I'm trying to say here is, there is a element of them chatting and bringing synergy. Uh, we are not there on, the big social media platform. They are the one who are really on the big social media. They are the brand in itself. You tell them something, they will bring the referral. So earlier, a referral policy was not there. And I'll take an example. You give me, I'll get you the people that you're asking. It was there, but it was not that handsome, right? It was not that out loud. So that's where we felt like, okay, we need it now because we have a generation who can multiply. And not just that, and how they participate in promoting the work that we do, right? So these are the purpose to protest. There was so much purpose that we want to help you grow. We want you to imbibe those values, but we can do that. But we can also influence more people and bring that change. And that's where I'm coming. This is where Gen Z's really helped us. Gen Z's communicates through visually compelling and easily shareable content. They created their own content and they were selling it up. And that really helped us getting the right talent. That's where I think the entire workforce that we have today is, I think it's influence, or it is because of them, the first lot that we got from the college as a campus hire, and how they kind of influenced everybody else to join us and really be part of this organization. So once you share the purpose with them, they just don't stick to it. They also, influence and bring people to be part of that entire purpose-driven activity. That's something we observed early 2023, and our massive cost on recruitment dropped because of that intervention. So I really think that's how our workplace got shifted, and we felt they will bring only youngsters, but no, they actually got many experienced folks also that you are looking at through their branding, because they are much bigger brand than the brand of the organization itself. So I think they are the one who create. So that's, I think, when you share the purpose, it really helps, and it really helped the organization. I think because they are born in a digital era, they're so smart. They know the things. We also believed then, and that's something that within the leadership team, we brought new technologies uh, just to entice them, just to make them feel how fast paced we are. So these were further interventions or investments that we brought in as, I would say, leadership team to work closely with our Gen Zs and attract more talent. What is the benefit that you're getting? It's not just the benefit of tangible thing. I don't think so. It's just the tangible benefits that they bring in. Or they ask for upfront. It's something that's intangible benefits, and that calls for how fastly I can work so that I have time for myself. How I can communicate not just within this group, within this region, but also to people outside the global team. How I can grow faster than you. The career progression planning, not just entailing or explicitly mentioning 2 years, 3 years. What is my career path? How I can grow in? So when these questions started popping up, it really made the organization. That's how we kind of transformed the entire structure and made it. We always had a very high performing, culture, and where we promote is proportionate to not years of experience that you have. It's the outcome that you bring in. And very clearly in our kind of setup, if you are already billing at a certain rate, and if you can go to the next level, step up. So we really created the step up program, irrespective of tenures. If you are ready for the next level, and if you are producing that, how we can help you grow. We announced this program only because of keeping that generation in mind, that because they were really disrupting the current levels that we curated. It's like, okay, we want to grow faster. So that's how I think there were these new engagement programs, hashtag growth, hashtag you know, the career growth within 2 years, how I can move to 2 levels up within 2.5 years. So I think those were also some of the elements that we were able to bring in, and the ideas definitely came in, and we were very happy that we could literally leverage those uh, big ask, and the great resignation period also helped us think through what is that they want, and the faster career progression, digitally smart organization, um, productivity going high so that self-time is high and they are able to balance. I think those are the three big changes we were able to make because of their rapid growth demand, and we could do it. So I think it was unlike any generation before. Gen Z grew up faster and grew up with this really demand. So that helped us in really transforming our traditional ways of operating and not sticking to those long tenure thing. And it has been for good because we see the transformation not just in terms of just HR policies, but the financial numbers too. So that really helped us there. Um, I really believe the culture shift has been fueled by authenticity, and Gen Z's influence extends far beyond the sphere, environmental sphere. They reshape the cultural norms and the uh, behavior inside the organization and outside equally. And at the heart of this shift is a powerful demand for being authentic and being and taking accountability. I just want to take, how the brand activism is. This generation expects brands to be more than just, purveyors of goods. They are value-driven things. You relate. What is that we want? What is that you want us to associate with? What is that social impact that we are bringing in? And they will be all there for you. So yeah, so there is a lot of purpose driven than that of protest. So I do see it, and really their purpose helped us transform within the organization too. So I'll pause here. Or if anything that you have for me.
Yes, so there are two questions in the chat box. Let me read out for you.
Yeah.
The first question is, how can organizations create a culture that resonates with Gen Z without altering other generations?
Ooh. And that's a nice one. So first of all, I think it's how we, and that's something we did that, right? Inclusivity is part of it, and being transparent is other part of it that we were talking about. And irrespective of generation or more generation to come in, this is the way forward. You can't sit in a room and say, oh, we are an offsite with a leadership team and we'll come back with a strategy and you have to implement. No. And irrespective of the generation that we are operating with, inclusivity, being transparent, and transparency is something that we really need to bring in. And the other piece is that how you link their career growth with that of organization career growth. So yeah, so when we have our own vision statement sitting in, the employee, can your employee resonate with that vision, with that values? That's so very important, and this is again irrespective of generation. When I joined my first company, CB, one of the values that I really loved it, and I still imbibe it, and is spirit of generosity. And we used to really give that value awards to people. So that resonates with me because I really want to be generous. Whatever I've learned, I want to give it back, right? So if my purpose and that of the value of the organization matters, it brings in the clarity and how the organization grow. So to the question, Gaurav, that our audience has asked, the answer is the deep rooted what is the value of the organization, what is the vision, and how my employees can resonate, irrespective of the generation, be it how we kind of integrate and being transparent and inclusive. We used to, in our case studies back in MBA, we used to say, keep a chair as a customer in the meeting room. Now I don't need that chair because I need people to tell me what should be done. So I don't need just a tangible chair. I need people to tell me what needs to be done. So that's where inclusivity has to come in. And that's the change I think we really need to bring in. Yeah.
So another question is, Gen Zs are very fast, but they are too fast. They sometimes bring the work which is done, but the moment I see it, immediately we identify the flaws. So how to politely ask them to do through check before submitting the work? Like they're
Yeah.
too fast. They are in a hurry. Like, no, I need to impress this, so I will do it in very fast. So how to
Yeah.
politely tell them that about their flaws and all those things?
Yeah. I love this question, first of all, Jitendra. I could see your name here. It's a wonderful question, and not all of them, but yes. Yes, there is a fast paced work which has led to lack of focus. And I always, there's a part of me also feels little okay that I'm not Gen Z, not to demean anybody here, because if I would have been a Gen Z, I would have been born in a digital setup. And then the scores that I have got in 10th and 12th, I don't think so I would have been able to, because there's so much distraction around that I can't focus, right?
Right.
It's very difficult to really keep off these phone, like is so much dependent on digital thing, while it is fast paced, but the mind is not sticking to one. So yes, that's one part of it that I do know. We are also in that space. We are also in that stage where uh, it's difficult to communicate, but some tactics, if I may say, that has helped us team is holding a crucial conversation. And there is wonderful book on crucial conversation, how to hold or give and receive feedback. These are nice ways, and this starts with building a safety to give a feedback. You can't just go and give them a feedback, right? And they believe not in goal driven trust. They believe in relationship building. They believe in trusting um, through relationships. So they can't trust you, just trust you, because you
Mhm.
have a goal of completing a task and you're able to um, build a trust. Okay, ye aaj kaam kar do. No, they won't do that. So it's a different, and each, I would want to really share it. Each generation comes with their own style of operating. So Gen Zs definitely operate differently. Um, like I said, if they are purpose driven, like we were mentioning, they need to be aligned to your vision. Um, Before giving a feedback, it is imperative that we sit with them and share the purpose of this exercise, the impact of this exercise, and how it contributes to the growth of themselves and the organization. The data that they have not been able to feed well, simple. For them, it's a data entry work. Like I'm just taking a very simple example,
Mhm.
but the impact it has on the outcome to the client or to the organization, that journey, earlier millennials would never ask, they would do it. But Gen Zs need to know it so that they correct it and they pay attention to it. So feedback is not just a feedback, it's a vision driven, purpose driven conversation. If you
Mhm.
deal it like that, if you operate with that mindset, I think it's easy for us to, overcome challenges what we are facing today in our organization setting. So yeah.
But then what about their attention? Because they got very much less attention span time. Because
Yeah.
of this TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts,
Absolutely.
their attention span is very
Absolutely.
much less. So how to deal with that thing? How to
You mean we are talking about office setting जहाँ पे TikTok काम नहीं होगा गौरव? Like I'm just assuming. So there won't be any Instagram and TikTok, but I get what you're trying to say. I definitely get. Um, you know, then am I dealing with the right set of people in Gen Z? That's the question comes, right? If they're not ready to listen to the purpose and not paying attention to the vision of the organization or have not aligned. Okay, what I was trying to say is that, then it's not feedback about that topic. It's the complete shift of, do I have a right people at the right place? If the attention span, listening is something very important, right? If they don't listen, part one is how you make them part of the organization, how you bring the belongingness with the organization. And setting a belongingness is not just with the feedback. So then it's a bigger topic. When I brought them in the organization, how did I bring them in the organization? What was my cultural value assimilation program to make them part of this journey? Right. So it's actually opening a bigger a box for us to chat if they're not even listening, because feedback is part of it, right? Listening is that means they're not aligned with you at all. They're not aligned with you at all. So that's a very different game altogether. I think my internet is little here and there now.
Little
It started
shaky, yes.
raining here. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry for that. It's started
No
raining
worries,
in
no.
Hyderabad. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So can
Do
we
we
move
have
to next question? Yes, we have a couple of questions. So what's the most effective way to mentor Gen Z without sounding out of touch? Like being a millennial, like if you want to mentor someone who's in Gen Z, so what is the effective way to mentor them?
I, some of the things that has worked for us, of course, it has to be voluntary. It can't be mandatory. Part of it is. Two is when we map mentor and mentee, there is an assessment that is done, which is assessing the personality trait. I can't just be your mentor, you can't be my mentor, just like that. There's a complete set of assessment that we have in place. Very small one, pictorial one sometimes, but picture you like most. Which destination you want to go. Okay. If you were to arrange it, how would you arrange it as your liking, as your favorite one? Um, and there are more on a similar lines. This helps us in identifying the personality, which is a very wonderful tool of ours. And when we map the mentor mentee, and that's where it's not just the mentor mentee conversation. It goes back to how we assess and how we bring mentor mentee together. And then the right mapping when the personalities are not same, but where they would learn from each other, where they would connect better. That's the first criteria of selection that we have as our ERG group, which I was talking about, employee resource group, and mentorship is part of it. That's one. And then when we do our orientation, right, how we really do the hand holding. It's not just, okay, now you are mentor, mentee, you start working. Not like that. It's a complete process which allows the integration there where we, if I may say so, sell the mentor, sell the mentee, what is their vision, the journey of mentor, the huddles of mentee, so that they can relate and the conversation become. Did it help us 100%? No. But our mentorship program before this assessment and the process versus now, before our dropout rate within 3 weeks of this entire mentorship program, or 3 weeks, 3 sessions, was like very high. With this assessment and with this entire intervention on mentor mentee program, it's again because time is an issue and it's very difficult to maintain, but at least dropout rate has really plunged or taken care of by 25%. So that has helped. So yeah, it's not just the conversation, it's also how am I mapping the people for the future growth and the interest level of both sides. I think those are some of the criteria which has helped us.
I guess there is one more question on the similar line. That's we have managers at Generation X and the executive team members of Gen Z. So which creates a huge gap in terms of both adapting each other's work ethics and working style. So how we can resolve this thing, like this gap between these Gen Zs and Gen X?
Oh wow! So we have Gen Zs as leadership team members and Gen X as an employee. Is that?
No, Gen X as a managers and Gen Z executive team members. Yeah.
Oh, I was like amazed, like which organization would have that? Sorry, I heard it wrong in that case. Okay. Um,
So
so,
their
so
working style, working ethics are different, right?
absolutely,
So yeah.
absolutely. Very well. Oh, absolutely. I'm just trying to say that usually we always have millennial as our layer. Usually
Right.
that's how. most organization would be cognizant of. But when these kind of classic cases come in, uh, can I, ask somebody who's ever asked this question, because I can't see it in the chat box of mine. I was
Kritika.
earlier
Yes,
Kritika. Okay.
Kritika.
Can we double click on the fact that if you can give me a little more details, uh, you are Gen Z, and then where are you finding it difficult? Can you be a little specific there, if that's okay with you? Because I don't want
Yes,
to talk
Kritika, if you can
just at a
unmute
macro
yourself.
level. I can be a
Yes.
little more specific then.
Hey, hi,
Yes,
hello, Ms.
Kritika.
Priya.
Hello, Kritika.
Well, we face quite difficulties in, mapping these two generations' culture together. So,
Mm-hmm.
be it in terms of like multiple conflicts, like Gen Zs are like cool enough,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, the Gen X are like like disciplined. So
Hmm.
there the conflict goes. So like we tried mitigating it like more being work centric and not being like centric in terms of the habits and all the other things. Because Gen Zs are habitual in terms of taking multiple breaks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely. No, I get
Yes.
that. So, it's a challenge, of course. It's a completely different world in which Gen X have been brought up versus that of Gen Zs. Um,
Right.
um, but may I understand how the organization is setting? So, like, is the organization expecting to work in a stipulated timelines like 9 to 5, or they are
Yeah.
flexible?
We are not
Okay.
flexible at this point of time.
We are
We
not
have
flexible. Okay. We
yes.
are not flexible. Yeah, that's the challenge for sure. And that's where I was coming.
Correct.
The one of the thing is that, we transformed or we changed is like we can't ask you to operate within these hours. We have to change it. Now, it's absolutely a challenge for sure. And if you ask me to think on feet how to, manage it, I don't think so. I will be able to give you the exactly right intervention. But part of it that thinks of me that has really worked is how much of a knowledge sharing is happening between the two generations,
Mhm.
right? And when uh, we and this is something which has helped us guys, is reverse mentoring. We don't just do mentoring, we do reverse mentoring also, right?
Okay.
And appreciation comes from both the generation. Like at the moment when you do upward mentorship program, like it's like we're already creating a gap,
Mhm.
Hmm.
right? But when you do reverse mentoring, there is an appreciation for the other generation, how they operate. So I think it's about how we educate people, how each generation is different, part one, and is
So next question is how to keep Gen Z employees engaged and committed for the long term. They do hop from company to company. They don't want to stick to the
uh,
one company. Yeah. So how to, hit this thing?
I think part of it I spoke about it, Gaurav, when I was telling how 2021 it was a great resignation period for us, and people were hopping, and especially in
Mhm.
IT company, it was
Right.
massive attrition. I can't tell you, we were not able to retain our key people. Our exit interviews were, we really invested our time doing there and learned what is that they are hopping. Is it only the money? Okay, we can give them money, but what is that they are looking for? And things that we kind of changed, removing the tenure against the promotion. That's something I was telling. The career progression. Don't make it tenure based promotion. Make it more like a performance based promotion, right? The second piece was step up, and that calls for mentorship. People who are willing to go to 2 levels above faster. Again, part of your promotion, but how you're supporting them to be promoted. It can't be like, okay, it's no more tenure base. We're helping you grow. No, but we have to help you. How are we helping? So that's where we had a step up program where we give you a coaching where you can be ready for the 2x level and bring not just money for yourself, but the organization also. Right. So that
Mhm.
was the other piece. Um, something which, it's how you align them with your vision and values. It doesn't come overnight, but time and again, the communication, and communication. What is my vision? And how their impact, and that's where the brand activism comes in, like how they become the brand of your company. They go and tell about how I impacted that client and worked for that client in bringing that change. So making them come in a forefront while being very careful of their style, leadership style, and staying focused. But, you know, they really want recognition and sometimes social validation too. So, how we can promote that within that arena of our growth plan, I think, is something. These were the two pieces that has worked. There are many more that we couldn't do at that time, but these two have definitely helped us in faster growth, making them part of our values, our core vision, and back to the point of being purpose driven. Why are we doing what we are doing? Being very transparent. So yeah.
I hope this answer suffices your question, Deepali. So to the next question. So one of my niece, oh, okay, there is one example by Pratyusha. Yeah. So one of my niece once asked me, they are labeled as demanding or impatient. So how can they change that narrative without compromising on what they value or what they are meant to be? So people, for Gen Z, they have been labeled as demanding or impatient.
Yeah, that's a challenge. That surely is a challenge. And let's not just for Gen Zs, I think it's also alpha. I'm seeing my own daughters, they can't even stand in the queue. Such a long queue because we have grown up seeing all the advertisements. They just skip and they can just watch. So, yeah, the patience is definitely a thing. Um, I think detaching from work also helps sometimes, and how often you step out of work and give them the experience of how the reality is. And when we do, and this is something that, we offsites
Mhm.
within the group of practices, small practice. But when you go out on hiking and you go out on little physical activity kind of initiative,
Mm.
the reality gets checked in that it is not as smooth as that of a digital world that you're staying in. You know, click a button and the AI would produce the image and the PPT that you're asking for. But the reality is a little far off from that digital world that you are staying in. So that's something I think it's really so to the family member who is being impatient, I think it's important we cut off from a digital world and stay in the real world. That experience giving is very important. Living an experience is very important. And I do see many Gen Zs really detaching from the corporate world and joining, not having alcohol. That's also the area they're getting into. And I really appreciate that. It's a very good way of leading the way. But two of the things that as asked about impatience is how you really do the reality check and keep doing it. Don't give up just in one go. Keep doing it back and forth, yeah, back and forth. It will not be, I think, accomplished in one of your, one reality check-in offsite. You have to keep doing it at regular intervals. I think that would really maybe one of the ways to help it. I could think one of it, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this one last question, I guess. Okay, there are one, two questions. We already reached at 4-7. So how can effectively introduce cultural change when newer Gen Z employees bring fresh ideas but face resistance from the old guard? And how can leadership ensure that change is embraced equally and not
Yeah.
just discussed in theory? So this thing,
Yeah.
like we are attending right now the session, but
Yeah.
after attending the session, how are we gonna really implement those things, or we just wanna attend the session and then think later away?
Yeah, I love this question because it's not something new. And this is not just Gen Z's facing it. I think millennials also faced it. And every generation, when the new generation came, the older felt a little insecure. So let's go to the root cause of it. Why people are being resistant. Let's not just fix the symptom. just fix the root cause. And the important part is how secure my organization is. That's very important. Do I have a secure organization? When I say secure organization, either I give the idea or my senior gives the idea. Each one will get the credits for it. That's the part one of it. Now, it's easy said than done. Let me put it this way. It's not something that, you can implement and they would still be insecurity. There would still be an element of resistance and pushing back. Who are you to tell me that this is the better way of doing it? Oh, absolutely. I completely get that. But here's what I have for everybody out here. I have been in a situation personally where my idea was taken up by my senior.
Hmm.
There were two choices that I had. Either I give up or I keep giving that ideas to that individual, right? But give up is not the way forward. Let me put it this way. When you smile and give that idea to that senior member, my understanding is they start becoming dependent on you because you are generating those ideas. And not just that, you start building a relationship also. Right? So don't just fixate for short-term goal, think of long-term goal also, right? But that doesn't mean embrace this behavior in the organization. That doesn't mean at all. But don't stop. Don't detach yourself from the organization just because of this thing. Oh, somebody took my idea and now I'm not. So I don't want that way of operating, because we feel bad. Oh my God, it was my idea. Now he stole it. And now, he's become the super boss. I don't want you to quit. Part one, keep nourishing your ideation, keep working towards it, keep pushing hard. That's part one. And feel free to share it with people who may be able to help you in the organization setting, right? That doesn't mean pull yourself down and say, oh my God, this is the organization. No, I don't want that. Feel free to also hold a conversation. And again, I'll give an example of how you are feeling safe in the environment where you can talk to people. And that would be built by you only. So you can go up and talk that, I'm a little stuck. I'm stuck because, Mr. X and I were working on a particular project and my ideas were taken up. And I do not know how to operate and come out of that situation. There are people who will be ready to help you, my dear, ready to help you. But it's just that for that, you have to hold a conversation, seek guidance from an experienced team member to support you. And they would be people who will be able to support you. And if they are not, then that culture is definitely not inclusive. So then you can definitely pull yourself out. But do know there are people who are ready to support you, guide you, and they would be happy to hear from you the ideas that you're generating it. So I do not know whether I've answered your question or not. The audience, the person that who have asked it, but I just want to say that don't give up is my first thing, and hold conversation. Be open-minded and hold conversation. Seek guidance in an environment where you are not feeling like valued if your idea was not valued. So don't cut off, but figure out ways. So that's my only two advices to overcome these situations.
Good. So the last question over here is, how do you handle conflicts when Gen Z challenges traditional workplace norms?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that is true. I can't change everything, right? So that's also true. There are certain things which were going really well for us as an organization, and we really want to keep that. The roots of running the corporate, the values. If I may actually, it's just the approach difference, somewhere I was reading, the traditional way of voicing out would be organized, writing officially on marches. But Gen Zs would be viral social media, online education. So what I'm trying to say here is, again, the basic point here is I will not change the policy. But
Mhm.
if there are forums to share your ideas, do share and make your own alliances with the right person to share so that it gets implemented. But not all of it. We also have to balance it out, right? So there is a lot of balancing and thing that we need. So I don't think so we can, we are anyway saying that the ideas produced or policies produced or ways of operating produced is wrong or what you're suggesting is wrong. But as a matter of fact, what is the business case toward it? Bring that business case. And I think we have also built those changes in the system. So I do not know whether I've answered that question, but yeah, this is how we have operated. It's a difficult space to be.
Actually it's a difficult situation. It changes the company to company and the policies, then the
Yeah.
work culture, everything impacts on the same.
But yeah,
Yeah,
keep
I
going
guess.
is all I can say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I guess we are done with all the questions in the chat box.
Okay. I think if this is where we are, Gord, are there more
Mhm.
questions?
Oh, yes, we are done
Uh,
with the questions. So, yep. Yes, anyone? Yes, there is
Hi,
one. Yes.
Kanupriya, Husna here. Kanupriya, so just to not add to anything, but what on organizational level are few basic things that we can bring in our policies to be more, Gen Z friendly? Because Gen Zs are into, vibe check. They join the firm within a 2 days. They're like, we did not match with the vibe of colleagues over here. They quit too quickly. So how do we deal with that? The attrition goes high and then they do judgmental within 2 days of joining the firm. So how do we go about this?
Um, I would really want to go back. How did we attract them to the organization, first of all?
The
Hmm.
normal hiring process we go through. Maybe
Yeah.
the someone is a designer or an editor or someone. Maybe
Hmm.
that person is very talented, good with whatever he is bringing to the table, but it's just that he's too quick to, decide on things. So to not
Oh, yeah,
we
absolutely.
were not
Uh,
able to keep him that engaged during those initial days, and maybe we lost a
yeah.
good talent.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm that's what I'm kind of going. The early attrition is proportionate to my talent attraction framework and my strategy,
Okay.
right? And it entails a major chunk of it is pre-onboarding exercise. You know, how
Okay.
you engage them before they join, how you make
Okay.
them part of the process. So I'll take an example. And this is back in 2008. I'm talking about 2009. Um,
Okay.
in my organization MCV, which is now Gartner, we hired many IMs and ISPs and all of that. And when we hired them, we had our own annual day, right?
Okay.
So our invitation were not even limited to existing folks, but also people that we have extended offer to,
Okay.
so that they see the culture, they live the culture,
Hmm.
and the assimilation time is shortened so
Hmm.
that their productivity starts from day one because they know what people they are going to work with.
Okay. That's
Uh,
that's a very good thing.
and not just sticking here, we have also continued this, like wherever I've gone, we have continued this pre onboarding engagement, not just for annual days, any big town halls, newsletters that goes every quarter or monthly. Involve them, share it with them until unless you have already offered them. They have right to know what they have signed up for,
Mhm.
right? So it's the complete talent attraction framework for me. And it is all the more important for Gen Zs, and that's where the transparency and inclusivity comes in. How transparent you are from the time that you have attracted them to be part of this organization or this value or this vision.
But
Okay.
nowadays, like basically, what generally the companies what they follow is they do this kind of thing once the person join, and then during the
That's where,
induction they give the details about the
yeah,
company culture,
but
then
that's
what
where
things
you're
are
losing
there.
time, right?
Right.
And that's
Mhm.
where how fast paced. I think there were many questions. They're so fast paced. They don't have
Mhm.
time to listen. They have their own agenda and the growth path. So you have to match it with them. And if you want to match it with them, you have to be little, you know, start engaging much before they started joining. So
Correct, correct.
yeah, so that's, I think it's and this framework has literally helped. And then from the time I've learned about it, we are really using it, not just limiting it to the leadership hiring, even for juniors, like pre-onboarding lunches,
Mhm.
okay, pre-onboarding, even if I have hired a manager and we have to build his team, you be part of interviews also. You build your team, even if you have not joined it.
Mhm.
How else they would live in and see the people that we hired and the structure or the team that he'll be leading. So yeah, it's a pre-engagement journey that defines your complete association with the organization in the long term. And if you're looking for a long-term association, investment in this side of the talent attraction piece is very, very crucial.
Thank you,
Okay,
Kanva. This was
yeah.
really helpful. And we never actually thought of this. Like pre-onboarding engagement is something, this is way, way difficult and different than what our traditional hiring process used to be. So thank you so much.
Welcome. I'm glad it helped.
Yes, we are done with the questions. Yep. And so 4:20. So yes, ma'am. So any closing statement, last message for us, for the audience?
I just want to say thank you so much for spending your time today. I loved all the questions. I
Yes.
truly love the conversation. I'm not a PPT person. I truly believe talking more. And this made me also think that there were two questions which were really pondered me. I really have to go back and figure it out. And it's okay. It's absolutely fine because we're also learning in this space. And I really want to be open about it. We have not achieved the stage that we want to be in, but we are walking the path in the right path, of course, in the right direction. But yes, we are there. And I just want to say thanks so much. And all the Gen Zs who have joined us, I love the energy. Keep that energy on. You're really challenging us. And sometimes I feel like I don't have that enthusiasm with which they come in, the enthusiastic participation that they have. So really appreciate that. And all the people, other generation, embrace them, yeah, because they are the one who are really building the future. They are the one who are really creating the India. Look at the attraction that India is getting is because of this generation. Our economy is really dependent on them, so we better embrace it so that we move forward with a lot of positivity. So thanks so much. It's happy Friday. I'm already having a heavy rain in Hyderabad, so my Friday already started. And thanks so much. I think
Yes.
these questions also added more flavor to it.
Yes.
Thanks so much,
So much,
Gaurav, for
ma'am.
having me.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you so much, guys. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for joining for today's Smart Talk edition. We'll soon meet for the next edition of Smart Talk. Till then, goodbye and happy weekend.